those. A lot of yaks, stuff like that. Boars come in like big groups and stuff, but megasofts I get up to like 5. Same with like thrombos, I get up to like 5 come in at a time kind of thing. Medical treatment crucial. Why though? Asthma again. Okay, I can't do anything about that, mate. That's on you. But yeah, pretty much the thrombos and stuff. Like, part of the reason why I do keep them, why I do kind of train them and stuff, like these ones are all the ones that are named and bonded and stuff, right? So they can fight, they can haul, they can rescue. It's really good for that sort of stuff. But I also have like extra, hold on, if I get past the panthers and the dromedaries, buffaloes, there we go. So the thrombos, whenever I have too many male thrombos, I normally sell them. Because they're worth a lot. They're worth like about 1,000 each or whatever. A fully trained one's like 2,000-3,000 kind of thing. So they're good money. Like at this rate, I don't want them to collect more. Like I don't want them to like tame up more males. I want them to train up more females. Because if they bond this little male and he goes all the way up to the top, I end up with like a really big list of like male animals, which if they're female, they'll reproduce and then we won't keep their offspring, right? Which means that their offspring becomes meat for the colony kind of thing, meat and furs and leathers and stuff, right? So it ends up being like beneficial to keep a lot more females. Gat's got the plague again because Gat's always got the plague. But yeah, like, I don't know. I like having like a lot of like panthers. I like the thrombos, the megasofts are okay and stuff because they also do hauling. So even though I've got like 302 colonists, right? And most of them are able to do hauling or cleaning, right? I don't have to prioritize hauling because I also have at any given time like 500 odd animals, you know? So like at the moment we had the least that we have because it's winter. But like we have like 550 to 750 or so, generally speaking. Always producing meat, always producing leathers and stuff like that. So that we can kind of sustain the colony, clothe the colony, feed the other creatures within the colony and stuff, you know. But having the animals that are trained be able to go and haul that shit in just frees up more hands for machines and like, you know, the benches and crap. It's good shit, you know. What else? If your animals are hunting, they'll likely explain it since they'll be culling the small animals regularly. I rarely do see more than like a squirrel or like a bird or something like that on the map. We normally only have like a few, but even then I've made it even harder for shit to exist on this map because I have the boundary of the fence because I pushed that really far out. I don't usually keep like a fence on the outside. I know that when the turrets go off or when my people are hunting, they'll break the fence, and it also prevents stuff from like getting into a closer range where it's easier to haul. So I don't love that, but like I might change it later, I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes will always spawn in big packs because they can only have entered a tile through an event. Number scales with your colony wealth. That makes sense because like the smallest I've ever seen is a pack of 3 Rumbos, and for the most part we get like 5 if we have any visit us. They've already started building some of these because it's like right next to their resources, which is great. And I think that they're building the plasteel ones too. Oh, alright. Well, I'll check on how we're going with the recurve bows because I do want them to go out to that quest by the end of winter. And it hasn't been too long, but I do think that they went off to sleep. The Young's been working on it. Young's double tapped this, goddammit. I don't want two of the same person on the machine because that won't help us. Trenka and nobody else is here yet. Makes me wonder, did Human come down here or not? Oh, that's Human. She's gone off to sleep. Okay. Time to go grab somebody else. It was Trenka and Young for the most part. Hold on. It'd be faster for me to find them this way because they're probably asleep at the moment. I don't know which way I'm scrolling up to here. Hold on. I think I just like reset that around. There we go. You asleep? Consuming meal. Fantastic. When you're done consuming meal, I'll get your ass up on one of these benches. Manatee's trying to reserve, but that's fine. She can use something else. And the other one that fucking what's-his-face is double tapped on this can fuck that shit off, and we'll put this back in here. There we go. And we'll move this shit back up here. That way red's not, or young's not like on this twice. There we go. Now if somebody else wants to work on it, they can work on it. I'm trying to get enough bows to go do the quest. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to go pick it up, but I need like 50 of them before the end of the month. So I need somebody to actually go work on it because they're not near the resources there. Like I could put like a little thing of wood up there, but I can't see them for the life of them wanting to move this up there just because I put a thing, you know. How's it? Since your colony is huge, it should always spawn a ton. Oh yeah. In real life, farmers' ranches do much the same, where females get kept alive so they can quickly repopulate. Males get slaughtered, sold, used as pack animals. Yeah, well, that's kind of the logic that I kind of like went with, is essentially like, if you have a lot of female animals and or female bonded animals, right? So like a lot of the ones that are up here, a good like chunk of these bonded are going to be male, because I don't know why, but like when they're like really little, my colonists will bond to the males. So then I have to keep like a certain quantity of like breeding females in the colony. Like as you can see, like there's a lot of chickens and stuff, but there's only 3 males. Like I can only keep 3 to 5 males, so that in the event that somebody goes slaughter, in the event that one gets struck by lightning, in the event that we get animal plague or a battle takes them out, like we have a spare, right, to keep repopulating. In the event of like the laying animals, we don't usually have fertile eggs on the ground, and of course in winter we lose them because they go off. But like once an animal's been bred, if we lose a male, there is a percentage chance that we'll replace it with its offspring, and we'll just have to wait, you know, half a season to be able to start breeding them again. But yeah, I would normally try to keep like the animals all the way up until adulthood untamed or untrained or whatever, and then cull them so we get the maximum amount of meat once they clock over to being an adult. Basically in the auto slaughter being like, okay, we can have unlimited babies, right? But as soon as they hit adulthood, they're gonna get culled if they're above like 30 or 3 kind of thing. And the moment I don't have that, because I had to undercull them by whole heaps, because normally what happens in winter is, as you can see, nothing is growing outside and there is snow. So my colonists have to go and manually feed the animals to like keep them tame and keep them fed, right? But it means that a lot of the animals are probably in a state of like hunger or malnutrition. If they're pregnant, they're going to lose that because malnutrition and stuff, which happens a lot with like the cats and typically like our pack animals and stuff. This year I decided to cull all of their, like, I waited until like almost all of them were like pregnant, and then I culled off all the adult males. And I'm like, nobody can repopulate while those ones are growing, and they should be sturdy enough to be able to reach adulthood probably by winter. And then they won't probably have like another like batch of babies or whatever until like spring. So we're lessening the amount of like mouths we have to feed, the amount of, you know, animals that are losing offspring to like, you know, malnourishment, like the amount of like tending. Like my colonists, I have a lot of colonists that can go tend to animals. Like there's people in here going and tending and shit, but they are taking our good food to go and tend to those animals. So kind of like, okay, sort of thing. Also, how much medicine is up here? Only 17, that's fine. That's a sufficient amount for a prison. But yeah, because I don't have anything to attack at the moment, and I haven't had anything to attack for a little while, because as I said, we've been trying to mitigate like a starvation event, like a colony-wide starvation event, plus then we had like the flu, the plague, muscle parasites, and gut worms or something else all at the same time. And so basically like we haven't had much happen between here and here in the way of attacks, and yet here before we moved we're absolutely getting ripped into, like basically every week or every second week we were getting ripped into. It was not great, but also we had the defenses and shit for it. We should have defenses now. Like I should have enough ID traps for mechs if they get into the base. I've got turrets for the outside walls just in case. I don't have turrets inside because I don't trust my people not to get dead, so they don't get that inside. That's up to my colonists having enough weapons and stuff. which I do have to do a round robin of my colonists, and I do think at the moment, I don't think anybody's in a mental break. So there's a good chance that I could go around and make sure everybody has like a weapon. I just need this to fuck off so I can see the first couple of colonists. I can go look. It's the only problem with having such a massive list is whenever I get a notification, I can't fucking see. So yeah, let's go. While we're waiting for them to build chairs, let's go make sure everybody's got a weapon if they can pick up one. You don't have one. Lou had a mental break not long ago, so he's not going to have one on him. And the problem is I have a shit ton of people building crap in here at the moment. I don't generally have... Shut up, guinea pig. I don't generally have, like, that many weapons. I don't want to give you an excellent one. You can have that. Most of my weapons are in this row here because it's the closest to where they're making them. So it's kind of really not great that they're currently building a shit ton of stuff in there because it makes it very hard to see, but it's fine. I saw an excellent one of these. Everybody in my colony should have a weapon, or at least be able to carry a weapon, unless they're like a pacifist. I've got like 7 pacifists, give or take. But yeah, if they're not carrying something, it's because they're probably gone down at some point. I also want to make sure nobody's touching the recurve bows. They're making good recurve bows. I'm not seeing any crap ones in there, which is good. You need a gun. There is a normal minigun. I don't know if we started making miniguns again, but it would be good. Like, I want to replace these pilliers, which I could. I don't know if Fred can handle that. I think Fred's maybe a gardener, I feel like. There is a good sword in here. When my 2 traders come, I'm halfway between I want to sell them clothing because we have so much fucking clothing, and I want to sell them wood because we have so much fucking wood. I could sell them the wood and I could keep the clothing, and it would prevent everybody from changing their gear for a little while, which would allow us to make parkas. But if I needed to, I have a lot of clothing for them to sell. I've got at least 200 items of clothing in that stack. At least. Because we've got like 100 shirts and we have 100 pants. And everybody's already changed out of their gear. So... that, and we've got a few parkas and dusters, obviously. Let me zoom out a bit again. Most of these people are going to have weapons, by the way. I did this not very long ago. And as I said, we haven't had a fight, so I don't super have to worry. You can have a masterwork. Also, because I don't have much for them to hunt, anybody that does have a hunting skill, like high shooting, has like atrophied that terribly. Recruitment, masterwork, get out of my way. And inspired surgery. I don't know if we have anybody to work on at the moment. We do have organs and shit, like not organs, but like, you know, body parts and crap we can install. Actually, I'll have a quick look at Tade in a moment. It doesn't matter if I do or not, because like there's a good number of colonists around the place that are like good to do operations and shit. My only problem is when they're doing operations in the hospital, they're not doing it very well lately, I've noticed. And that is concerning because I only have like, you know, the better doctors allocated to work on people, and the hospital's clean. So I'm not too sure what the dealio is with this. Like, I don't think they're like uncomfortable or whatever. God, there's so much fucking getting made in here. This is fine. You don't have a weapon. Hummingbird, when did you lose your fucking sniper rifle? Love? I saw one in here like just a minute ago. And there it is. You've lost that at some point. I knew, I'm like, I saw somebody's sniper rifle in here. I'm like, it's either Weeks or Hummingbird. Because like, they've had a punch up. At least Hummingbird, I knew she's had one. There's your bolt action. McJolly will drop their weapon every other week because they have fucking tantrums. And they're on like the death list, so I'm not increasing that. I kind of want to give you the EMP launcher because you're about a 6. Anybody that's around about a 5 in shooting or about that kind of thing, I generally try to give them like an EMP blaster because they're not like 100% accurate, but they're also not one of my people out that are supposed to be hunting. So I don't have to worry about them being like, they can't hunt the thing because, you know, zapping a fucking panther or something with a EMP blast ain't going to take it down, you know. Amusing, but not useful. Whereas like if I make sure that people that are probably going to be the ones that are going and hunting, because the way my system is set up is essentially that if hunting is like the thing that they have like the highest priority, like animal handling and hunting, then it will be a 1, right? And if it's not the highest thing that they've got, it's not going to be a 1, right? So if somebody's got like a 5 in shooting and that's not as high as like gardening or something, it's going to be a secondary thing. So they're unlikely to go hunting, which means giving them an EMP blaster is a better option than giving it to somebody that is going to go hunting and be like, I can't shoot this deer with this gun, you know? Or, yeah. I also don't let my colonists have like a whole bunch of different weapons because I just don't fucking trust that they're not going to just destroy each other. Like, we do have 2 Resurrector mech serums at the moment, which is great. I actually walled them into a room because I don't trust them not to kick it. It's down here. Super tiny. I had healing mech serums as well when I moved in, and they also kicked them in the mass tantruming. So we don't have that either. One day we shall get a replacement, but today is not that day. Also, because I'm allocating a bunch of weapons, if it's on a list to be made, like for instance the swords probably are, they'll probably start commencing making the swords again, which is fine. It's not a huge issue. Also, Manatee looks like they're changing out their armor for a parka, which, again, if we were to get attacked in the thick of winter, none of them be wearing armor because they'll take it off and it's going to take me too long to get everybody to allocate on a piece of armor. And on top of that, I would have to hold on to, you know, an easy spare 300 odd pieces of fucking armor as well and be able to get them to it in time for a battle. So super not efficient. So like the fact that it snows here, the fact that it's going to keep snowing probably as we get further north in this map, probably going to be a big issue for fighting. Like I kind of get the feeling that, like I said, when we move into like the final base location, not that weapon, I want you to grab that one. When we go to the final base location, I will probably have to super enclose and tighten the build of my colony so that there's not a lot of downtime walking between places. We can keep most of it well heated. If it's well heated, they can wear their armor, like not as likely to remove it. The only problem I have with that is I will need a shit ton of fire foam poppers because all it's going to take is one pyromaniac setting a hallway on fire and the entire place is just going to become a fucking inferno. I think, which I do actually have, like, who am I up to? Chimpanzee Collector, I can find you in a minute. I do have a lot of fire foam poppers. So, like, this is just in, like, the housing areas. I don't think I have any out in the field, but I do have more over here. I got fire foam poppers around the place. I've got it at least enough to be sort of safe about it, you know. Chimpanzee, I don't think I set you up to go grab a weapon yet. But I'm pretty sure we've lost your uranium spear by now. It's probably gone down to not being usable. There's a good spear. We used to have a masterwork uranium spear for chimpanzee. Oh no, there it is. Fuck, okay. Never mind. We still have it. So that was a bit of a surprise. I've obviously replaced it at some point and not noticed. You don't have a gun. Oh, they're putting the bows in here too, actually. That's not bad, as long as I can find them. I'd like to give you guys, like, better quality guns. I don't like giving them shotguns, because, like, a very large portion of the time, my colonists will take a shotgun and they'll be like, you know, like, duh, oh my god, I'm gonna go smack that guy with the butt of the gun. Instead of, oh, gun makes good shooty, you know? Like, I don't fucking know. Also, Tanara had that dibs, but I guess we'll have to come back to him. Yeah, the battles with shotguns, fucking interesting, because most of the time they just want to get in there and just fucking clock them with the back of the gun instead of actually, like, fighting. And I'm like, are you melee? Because, like, I can give you a shotgun to melee the crap out of people. You can sit there swinging it around like it's a fucking club or something. I don't care. But, like, I give them all the bi-coated ones and they can sit there, like, whacking them with that. But yeah, no, I try to give them like long range guns because if they've got a gun, they might as well be able to take somebody out at a distance instead of trying to get all up in their business. and then probably get shot or turreted or something in the process. You can have the good gladius. Also at some point, I guess I'll probably have to stop making shit with uranium so I can start making like recon armor or something. Because probably not this location, but I would say definitely in the next location or by the next location, I would deeply like to have them have like full proper armor, like a surplus of armor that's going to get us attacked so badly. But like, I would like to have it, you know? Obviously, alright, here we go. Bulk goods trader. Who am I up to? I'm up to grey. I don't know where you are in here, mate. I'll come back to you. I feel like we're down here somewhere. Alright, let's go grab. There's no point me going back and forth into like the next group. Who's in the area? In here. Actually, who's in my area? Up here. Because we're near the top of the map, which means people will be lurking. There's Lincoln could do a trade. You're not the best one for this. Like Weeks and stuff like live up here. Seahorse, she could do it. Silverware could do it better. Toad, no. I don't want to wake somebody up to do this. I will if I have to, if nobody else is nearer to it. And I think Silverware's the closest best trader I've got up here. Yeah. Alright. Well, let's grab you, get you to go wake up and get a trade on. And, Tonna, I need to give you a gun, or, yeah, I need to give you a, I took a gun away from you. Hold on a second. You. I need to give you this one. Nobody's using that one. And we're up to grey, so we'll come back to grey later. Animal starvation. Okay, the boomalopes and the ducks and stuff. Now, if they are starving and it is winter and I can kill them, I will take them out. Obviously I normally try to not... You're eating grass, you'll be fine in a second. Normally I lose a lot of ducks in winter. There goes one of the males. I can't kill a second male in a row. We'll see if you live, mate. Another female. We can replace a lot of the ducks. Kind of. It's interesting because a lot of my cats and panthers eat their eggs. There's the other male one. We'll see how we go with this. Actually, no. Hold on a second. I won't kill off the couple of males that are like malnourished because I think what we'll do is we'll end up shooting ourselves in the foot. Did I just go past the ducks? Yes. We'll shoot ourselves in the foot with trying to get the fuckers to breed. So, all I can see is happening is they'll go to breed and I'll only have like one or two alive, like probably one left, and then I won't be able to repopulate with that. I would like to make, just temporarily, I'd like to make a small pen and like force them all to fucking breed a little bit, like force them in here or something, so I could actually get, you know, some reproduction on them. The only problem is, in winter, unless they lay an egg somewhere warm and I like could actually get animals to stay the fuck out of it, there's no point, because forbid doesn't work in my game. Not always. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I don't need cloth. I do have a shit ton of like miscellaneous leathers. I am making stuff with blue leather. I will drop some decent stuff on you guys in a minute. I have a lot of books. I could just sell you a shit ton of wood, honestly, instead of like any of the leathers and stuff. Let's see. We've got all of our talks. They've been doing good with making those. What else can we have? I don't want headdresses. These are in like the 50%. They're never going to put those back on. They also are not going to actually take the time to smelt it. I do want to get rid of like the extra clothes, but I'll keep it at the moment. Can't buy any gold. I would like to give them a statue, but we can hold on to that for a bit longer. So how do you guys feel about wood? So I have like 116,000 and I don't need that much on my map. So I know it's about, it's gone down in price. It used to be about $1 equal to it. It's terrible. The cost of wood has like depleted muchly. Take it up to 4. Let's try it on 5,000 wood. Good luck getting home, guys. Let's take it up about another 200. Getting fucking close. Take it up to 300. 300 ain't it? Or yeah, close enough. Oh, which way am I going with this? I'm going backwards. Cool. All right. I need you to come down to probably, I would say maybe 30. 30's too low. Try 40. 40's fucking close. I want to take all their money because I'm using silver for shit. So guys take that. How are you guys feeling about us as allies? You're at about 60. So, how do you feel about a gift of wood? Because I have a lot of wood to gift. So, you're at 60. I only need to gift you up to about 40 points, right? Which I'm going to guess is probably going to be about 10,000 wood. We can spare that shit. Alright, let's drop yours at 10,000. That is 50. Fuck it, you guys can have it. Go for it. Alright, and also kindly fuck off my map. Go. Get gone. Alright, sweet. So we got rid of at least a couple of thousand wood off the map, which is great because, I mean, I harvested everything. We don't need that much. I don't want to undercap us with wood either, but I don't need 100,000 wood on this map. We need enough to be able to, you know, fuel all the fires, and later in winter, then obviously all the passive coolers and stuff. I also do have a couple of like wood stove things as well, like wood generators. Why is that there? I'm not going to ask questions, actually. We're just going to ignore that. I think one of the boomalopes got cold, which is fine. And we've got to put this in the hospitals. I love when sometimes I have a look around my base and I just don't know why something is there. Also, why the fuck have you guys not deconstructed it? It's like legitimately like a third of the way through winter and this is still here. And also, while you're doing this, I guess you can do that. What are you guys doing? Killing... I guess you're culling animals nearby? I just don't know what you're actually culling. Ducks, maybe? Possibly. I've brought the chair over, so we should be able to do the wooden chairs actually in this room. The reason why is it's right next to the wood room. So, dromedary calf has died. I would say it's either hypothermia, starvation, or a cut. There goes another boomalope. It's fine. It's probably in a paddock. Nothing's growing at the moment, so it doesn't really matter, you know. It's not Kelly or Prolific Venus. Oh yeah. Yeah, what about it? What about it? Shit's on fire. I'm in here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't know I've got the name and game thing, and Kelly Venus is my avatar, and I'm a Prolific, obviously. So yeah, I can walk into your game at any time, as long as you've got RimWorld and the internet connected, I guess. I actually don't know if it happens if it's offline though. I assume it would be. I assume it would just be part of the random pool of names you could have, as long as it's not syncing. Hungry pet animals. Most of the ducks are hungry because they're not going to bring food down to them. Don't know why you let you have that, but didn't let me have Lenza as a nickname. I had a discussion with them about it. They did question me on it initially, and I had a conversation. I wasn't actually sure what they were going to let me have because I sent back a couple of options for them to choose as alternatives, and they went with this anyway. So I'm like, okay, cool. I guess it was just like, as long as you could, like, I don't know, I was gonna say like give a valid reason or something, but I'm like, that doesn't even sound fair in itself. It's like, I guess just have a conversation with them about it, kind of thing. Yeah, pay money to be in. We ought to allow unless it's outright offensive. Well, there's a few people that I know, like Eternal Dipsy has Cat Patry Bombay. He's in my colony too. Hold on. You should be, I don't know if it comes up as Bombay or if it comes up as Cat. I think it's Bombay. Hold on. Bees up here. Where the fuck are you, mate? I'm pretty sure, there you are. So, like, they went with Cat Patry. So if you actually, like, break it down, it's, like, Pat the cat, the Bombay breed of cat, like Patry kind of thing. That's what theirs is a play on and stuff. But theirs might have just sounded enough like a name to have passed, you know? Like, they might have got questioned on that. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they just thought it was good enough kind of thing. Like, I've seen a few people in here that got, like, weird shit, like Nails, for instance. I'm like, who the fuck's nickname is Nails, you know? Like, and then you got, like, Chicken. Chicken, what's your real name, mate? You got Chicken, whatever the fuck that is. I can't even begin to pronounce it. Blue Jay's got, like, Aurelie. I probably butchered that, but that's fine. But like tofu, I could actually see how tofu could be something, because there is like an artist on the internet that goes by tofu and stuff. I don't know what their actual like drawing handle is and stuff, but like I know it's like tofu something kind of thing. So let me have some of my drink. Hold on.